co-sponsor for this event. This is President of the Chicago Teachers Union, who most recently led a successful strike in terms of member and parent support, Karen Lewis.
They asked us to look at these three questions: the political landscape in our state and city. Well, quite frankly, it's been a nightmare.
Yes.
The mayor of the city of Chicago is absolutely... Yeah, he's got a 29% approval rating, so...
Here he's got a 0%.
So this guy came in with actually almost his entire platform was teacher bashing. He started out talking about teachers got raises, kids got the shaft. So that was a headline in one of the newspapers. He said that we were lazy, we had the shortest school day on the planet, and our children were losing, compared to Houston, 4 years of education by the time they graduated. Now, none of this was true, but if you say it over and over again, we have a mayor that believes in governance by press release. And spin. So, we have in the state of Illinois, Democrats control the governor's mansion, they control the House, and they control the Senate. And yet, when we came in 2010, we had a different mayor. His name was Richie Daley. He decided not to run, and then we got this guy. So, yeah, I'm done with this. So then, the year before we were elected, the House and the Senate passed a pension bill that put in a two-tiered pension system. And the Illinois Federation of Teachers and the Illinois Education Association, we're not a merged state, decided not to fund a certain amount of Democrats. And so in retaliation for that not funding, and some people who were supposedly our friends lost their seats, we were hit with Senate Bill 7, which was an ALEC bill that had run in Colorado, basically. The same template, the same way it was done, was run in Illinois. In addition, so I went to like 1 million of these meetings, and they were never talking about Chicago until I had to have surgery. And then that day, for some reason, they decided to talk about Chicago. But, you know. He's got one over there. So, in addition, they really wanted to stop us from being able to strike without taking that right away. So they thought if they put in a really high margin of how many of our members had to vote for a strike, that we couldn't do it. And not only did they do that, the best part was Jonah Edelman went to the Aspen Ideas Festival and bragged about it. And what I love about it is these people who love data so much are always wrong about stuff. So what he used was the contract referendum. Now in the past, the way that the past administrations would actually push a contract through is to say, you know, this is the best contract since sliced bread, you know, just do it, you know, you'll love it. So what they would do, though, is have it voted on in the summer when nobody was around, and, you know, you'd get some really low participation rate, and then they say, oh, the contract was ratified, okay? So there are plenty of people here, like George Schmidt, that can tell you I'm not making that up. So anyway, that's what they used. Well, so we had a 75% threshold. And some of our members wanted to eat me alive when this happened and it came out. And I said, look, if 75% of your members don't want to go, if you can't get 75% 75% of you members take a strike vote. You don't need to go on strike. You will lose that strike because you're going to have people crossing that picket line. In 2012, do you know how many people crossed the picket line in 2012?
I would hope not.
I think it was 11, wasn't it? Was it 15? Well, there were a couple I wasn't so sure of, but maybe 15. But out of 46,000, out of 29 to 30,000, 15, I don't think it's so bad. But that strike wasn't called because we were piqued. Now, mind you, the mayor came after us very strong. He did some direct dealing with our members and threatened them first. We're going to close your school down if you don't agree to work a longer school day this year. I know you all heard he cussed me out, right? Yes. You've heard that story. So I got cussed out because I asked him about his longer school day. I'm like, why are you so stuck on this? You know, it's like, what's that about? And he goes, I can't have kids on the street at 1:30 and 2:30 in the afternoon. I said, oh, so this is a babysitting warehousing plan. This isn't an educational plan. Then F you, Lewis, you know. That's what he said. And, you know, I'm from the South Side, so it didn't stop there. So anyway, all right, so that was one fight. So we were able to stop the direct dealing, but I couldn't even get support from labor on this. And to me, direct dealing is like at the heart of the collective bargaining process. And I couldn't get some of these, labor guys to help me. It's like, can you just stand up and acknowledge that this isn't a good thing? So I said, okay, I'm out here by myself. So the good thing is that what people don't understand, I get all the credit for leading the strike, and trust me, it had nothing to do with me. It was a focused movement of people having conversations, building by building by building, talking to people, asking questions, but mostly listening. And it was also every one of our members going and testifying at the Board of Ed meetings. And again, our Board of Ed meetings are always downtown in the middle of a day on a Wednesday. So you have to take a personal business day if you are working in a school to go testify. And then you have to sign up. The board calls your principal and asks your principal, what is it you're about to talk about? I love how my principal used to deal with. He said, it's Karen Lewis. Yeah, have you not heard her? Why are you asking me? Are you opening a charter school or closing a school? That's what she's down there about. But we all took turns. We have shared leadership in our union. People want to come to me, the politicians want to come to me and say, Karen, can you give me X amount of money? I said, I don't make those decisions. Those are decisions made by our membership, our rank and file. The key to social movement unionism is that it must come from the ground up. That's where it happens. People ask me, well, why are you doing so-and-so? Why are you saying so-and-so? That's what the members told me to do. And that's what I'm supposed to represent. So, I'm good at it, all right? I have some skill sets along those areas, but it's not Karen's ideas. It's sitting around envisioning. And this is what we did before we ever got elected. We said, if we could dream a union, what would it look like? We got an organizing department, we got a research department. We've never had those. And we did it by taking pay cuts, taking the scale of a regular teacher, prorated out to a 52-week. We were able to afford that. A lot of the old guard decided to retire, so that was the money we had. I mean, so there are ways to get creative about these things. But I will tell you that what more we have to do is to continue to change the political landscape, because you can't work all these things if you're doing all this great work, but you've got laws that are stacked against you. So you cannot forget the political. You have to figure out a way to change that. So I'm proud to announce tonight that there are at least 3 or 4 of our members who are running in the aldermanic races.
Yes.
Progressive infrastructure. You cannot just rest on a personality here or a personality there. We have got to change the way these people think. We have to hold them accountable. And those of us that do not have an elected representative school board suffer, because we have no place to take our grievances except to Springfield, and Springfield doesn't want to micromanage CPS. So, the key is you have to find a balance. You have to work with your parents. Listen, here's the beauty. Think about it. Those of us in buildings that are working with children, we have a direct access to the parents that none of these AstroTurf organizations can do. And it's not about us telling parents, we want your help, when you've never had a conversation with them. I've told our members over and over again, the first conversation you have with a parent cannot be, your child is driving me crazy. That cannot be the first conversation. You have to work with a relationship before you can get there. So, listening, responding to the needs of your community make all the difference in the world. And it's member-driven, member-driven, member-driven.